All right, we're going to start a new series on the Emporium. So, exactly what is the Emporium? It is Ethan, Brady, Lincoln, and I's basement. So, we've taken our basement and we're using it as kind of a display. We've got stuff that I collected as a kid, stuff we've collected going to Jamie's Flea Market or other flea markets or garage sales or people have given us. And we've got different sections. We're going to show these over the next few weeks. But we're going to start with this one. This is one of our biggest collections and one of our favorite collections. It's all on the Dukes of Hazzard, the classic late 70s, early 80s show. And we absolutely love the Dukes. We still watch the Dukes. We've got Lincoln watching the Dukes now. And we kind of just show off some of our items here. As you can see, we got not a giant collection, but a pretty good-sized collection. A lot of these things I would say are like original. When I mean original, that don't mean they were used on the show. They mean they're like, they're early or late 70s, early 80s pieces. They're not remakes. You got these posters in the back. We've got those in the Smokies at Cooters. They're not old, but they're kind of remakes. But I really like those. They're like $10, I think. You got the awesome Duke's trash can there in the middle, the General Lee on top, and we got a bunch of puzzles. You can see one of those old puzzles there on top of the trash can. Those were all, these are all early 80s pieces. And we got several things. Some stuff, the Dukes came back kind of with reruns in the late 90s. And so some of those are from that time period. Some of them are even newer. But there's a puzzle there, the Dukes classic jump and the trash can. Probably one of my favorite pieces right there. Somebody gave that to me. Also, here's some of the old cars. Some of them are the old cars from the 80s. A few of them are remakes. And then we got some prop pieces in there that kind of go along with the chase. That's actually from Cooters. That's a remake. I bought that this year, and I really like it. And there's some old cars from the 70s that, they're not Dukes per se. There's a set of Dukes of Hazzard playing cards, which I really like. Somebody also gave those to me as well. And there's one of these Dukes figures. They kind of, I think they're Mego that makes it. They have the smaller ones. We got some of those, and then the bigger ones there. Don't have the whole set by any means. There's a model set. I don't believe that's 80s. I think that's late 90s. And those little cars there as well. Another one of those puzzles. That's a Boss Hog puzzle. That's one of my favorite ones as well. That's old. There's a VHS tape there. Got that carrying case there in the back. That's not really, really old. It's probably late 90s. You can put some cars in it. And those were, I believe, McDonald's promotion, that Boss Hog Cup. I'd love to have that whole set. That's the only one I got of that. Here's another different case of Duke stuff. There's a thermos. We do have the lunchbox we'll show in a minute. Don't have the top of that thermos, but I like that. There's some coloring books in the back, activity books, some in plastic, some not. Those are all old. Those are all early 80s. That's not a Duke's car. I don't know. I think one of the boys set that in there. It is orange, but I think it's a Mustang. There's a watch box there in the front. And if you see in the back, I'll have to open this door. That is one of the large, I don't know if Mego makes those. I can't remember. I know Mego makes the small ones, but that's in the package. It's not been opened. And these are some photos. Now, I'll show these in a second, but that's another one of the puzzles. But I love these photos because we've added these to our collection, and these are Duke's photos. We try to get, we do a lot of filming locations or a lot of and that's there in Covington, Georgia. We took that a few years ago coming home from Florida. The first 5 episodes of season 1 were all filmed in Covington, Georgia, Conyers, all around there. That's the town square. You'll see that building several times if you watch those first few episodes. And now this photo here, this is Culver City, California. This is the grave of Sorrel Book, Boss Hog. I've been there twice. That was in 2013. Dad and I went there on a Route 66 trip. Our hotel was just around the corner. We had it planned out. I said, we're going to stop and see Boss's grave. And we went back in 2015. Tried to go back this past summer, but it's a Jewish cemetery. It was closed on Saturday. So we couldn't go back. And then this is also there. This is also in Cooters. I believe it's their old location there in Pigeon Forge. And if you notice the picture there, that's little Ethan in the back. He was like 3, and then like a 2 or 3 week old Brady out the window there. I'm holding him really tight, so don't worry about that. That's also there in Covington area. That's the Boar's Nest. It's the original Boar's Nest. And that is the grave of Denver Pyle, Uncle Jesse. That's the unmarked grave in Forreston, Texas. We took that 2 summers ago. That section in the back, a church member that I go to church with made that case, said, give this to the boys. They can put their Hot Wheels in it. So we use it for Duke's cars. There's a Jesse Jeep. I don't have that in the chase scene up top. I'll have to pull one of those out. Several Cadillacs as well, some cop cars at the bottom. And it's really cool. And I really appreciate that. And that needs to be more out prominently displayed. Our final section here, this is another section near it. If you see in the back, that's the lunchbox, the Dukes of Hazzard. I do not have the Koi Advance one. That is a rare one. I'd love to get that. I've bid on it, but I have never won it. And then those Mego figures. You see Boss there in the front. And then Cooter in the background. The Dukes. There's another Boss. These gazebo pieces and stuff. This is stuff as I've added there. Kind of had a Christmas display. I don't have Uncle Jesse. I don't have Daisy. I don't have Roscoe. I want those though. I'm gonna get those. They're expensive. You got to find them. You gotta have the budget for it. So, I don't know. I think there's an Enos and a Cletus. I know there's a Cletus. I'd love to get those. Those are kind of like the crown jewel of the collection. And like I said, I'd like to get that Koi Advance lunchbox as well. Thanks for watching. More Emporium videos to come over the next several weeks. Thanks.